Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is a all signs broad spectrum reading intended for the greater collective. It is intended and originally created for Tuesday the 22nd of June, but if you're seeing it on a date that's different than that, that's okay. It's probably meant for you at that time rather than when it was originally created for. In the drop-down menu on the YouTube channel, please check out the information in there. All sorts of information in there as to how to support the channel is in there, and things I want you to think about when utilizing any of my readings, so please read that. You can find in there my social media links, my Facebook business page, all of that stuff. So please check that out. So let's get into this. This is a daily forecast, as I said. If it applies to you, great, utilize it. If it doesn't, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's wrong or broken. It just might mean that you're working on something different at this time. So let's get into the cards and see what they want us to know. They feel very slow today, like sluggish. That might be because I've been awake since 4 a.m., but I don't know why I woke up so early this morning. All right, so we have the King of Michael, which would be the King of Swords. Principled, rational, ambitious, respected. Wisdom and objectivity are important now. Stay in your integrity. A situation that calls for honest and open communication. So I love the blue color of the Michael stuff because it always brings me to that state of certainty. It gives me like a sense of groundedness, even though it is an air element card because it's swords. But the King of Swords is so practical. He's so sort of analytical. He's based in honesty and truth. That is something that we want to like sort of reside in today. Our honesty, our truth, what we know to be, our truth is going to be key today. Standing by that, not necessarily defending it, but just sort of being like pure in that, right? Allowing that to be our guide today is going to empower us. Remembering that kings are that sort of sense of authority, that clarity, that wisdom that comes with the opportunity to be the king. We've kind of worked our way to this place, right? We've learned through maybe adversity or hardship or life experience that we know what is true for us. Allow that truth to kind of be our guide, our word, our strength today, right? Don't let sort of anybody take that from us is my feeling. We have that Knight of Wands underneath this. So he would be sort of the action. This guy here, the King of Michael, would be the intelligence coupled with that action or that desire of the Knight of Wands. We should have a highly productive day. Today should be a day where we can put our intelligence and our truth to work for us to further our goals, our opportunities, our desires, and make them happen, especially with yesterday's Chariot card too in the mix in all of this. The Chariot is about sort of that celebratory forward movement. So to me, seeing the King today, I'm not bothered by him whatsoever. We do have that Tower card coming up, so some of you guys might be experiencing that. The Tower card, I can't remember how they called it, like, what was it, Change Your Life or something like that, which to me, that could be, for some of you, the awareness and the honesty of this king, the analytical nature of this king could be us looking at something a little bit more practically today, a little bit less emotionally today, and starting to begin to understand where those changes, where that upheaval, where that rearrangement needs to take place in our life with, whatever we're dealing with in life. The truth and the honesty of the King of Swords can bring about the desire, right, from the Knight of Wands to create the change and the upheaval that we see in the Tower card in midweek. But like I said in Sunday's reading, which you can look at in the lower left-hand corner at the end of this video, I said that the Tower felt to me sort of self-induced. This King of Swords is that honesty that needs to take place. He is that sort of structured thinking. He is that pragmatic discernment. He is that analytical nature that is going to allow us to analyze what's going on in our life and really see clearly, like, oh shit, this is not working for me. I need this to like be gone. King of Swords also is very agile at making cuts, right? Like where he needs to. Being firm, black and white, discernment, you know, like, oh, this is not going to work. I have the strength of sort of my intelligence and my honesty, my truth, to begin to sort of enact or create the tower that's coming. It's that, and that's where that change your life aspect of this tower card in this deck tells me we get to sort of stand firm in what we know. Now, it doesn't mean that we necessarily have to go out there and do anything. We just need to be true to who we are and what we know to be true, stand in that strength with that authority. And if others are bothered by that, if situations don't like that, if things want to challenge us, well, too fucking bad. Excuse my language, but that's kind of the feeling that I get with this card. So let's look at the energy oracle. This is the World. Not mad at this card. We've got card number, it's number 29, which leads us to an 11, which is a master number that does not get boiled down. It's a very empowered and strong number, 11, right? I love that this is a person on the end of a dock, sort of looking out over the world. Where do we want to be in the world? What is the truth of our world? I also love these cool, calm blue colors that both of the cards have, this with the border and this with the sky around the world. The world, to me, in regular tarot, is about endings and new beginnings, right? Sort of coming to full completion and understanding with something so that we can then sort of assimilate it, process it, own it, and move on, right, to the next thing, right? It's a sort of a mastery that we see in this number 11 in this card, the World, right? That's the sort of mastery that we have. The intellectual mastery of the King of Swords is about really trusting our knowledge, our truth, and acting on it from a place of, we don't like necessarily have to force it upon others, but we have to believe and, believe in it, act from it, and do what's right for us. The World, to me, says, in this case scenario, is where is our world at? Like, really look at it from an analytical state, from a place of intelligence and honesty. I think we're going to see things in a way that produce that tower moment, where we have to start to look at what can be cut away, what needs to stop, what needs to change, where can we benefit better from. If we act in such a way, you know, like if we take this path, what does that look like in our world, right? And we have the intelligence and, again, the authority to navigate these things from a rational, sort of ambitious, principled place. That's what all of this card represents in this King of Michael, to transform our world. Will we have to uproot some things or change some things? Sure, certainly. Do those changes need to be painful and dramatic and hard? Not necessarily. That was the feeling that I was getting from that Tower card. I didn't feel threatened by the Tower card at all. I felt like it was more about a conscious decision that we need to make this week to begin those changes. So this World card also affirms that to me. And also the 11 aspect of this World card speaks to this being about mastery, about taking responsibility for the choices that we've made in our life, for the situations that we engage in and how we engage in them and the effects that they have on us. Do they need to change? That's a question only you can answer, right? Let's go to the grounding stone, see what that has to say. And on the grounding stone, okay, I'm not mad at this. We have the word strength, grounding in our own strength. And I think that this is not only the strength of our intelligence, because we see the King of Michael here, the strength of our passion, coupled with that that Knight of Wands underneath this in the underpinning energy, the strength, just grounding in who we are, who we know ourselves to be. Last week's readings were all about finding that and remembering who we are, stepping up into that, taking responsibility for that. And I feel like this is a further, indication of that today, this reading. This reading is about being responsible for the sort of situations that we are involved in. On some level, we are choosing them. We are not necessarily victim to everything that is going on around us. And today is the day that we get to sort of step out in front of that and start to make the choices and changes to ground in our strength and our ability to know that. Yesterday's stone was honor. Maybe that honor, grounding in that honor awakens this king, this intelligence, this rationality in us that allows us to really look at who we are, what we've been through, and the strength of that to affect those changes, to take mastery over our situation, and to choose the thing that maybe other people don't think is the wisest choice. But it doesn't matter what they think. What is our truth today? And then reside and ground in the strength of that truth and move forward in it. Allow that wisdom and that intelligence to be your guide today. That is my reading for the day. I don't think I need to describe it any bit more. It feels very clear, calm, and collected to me. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button, share it with others, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.